And we're live. Sunday Service episode number 49 coming right at you. We got a lot to talk about after last night's pay-per-view. This is going to be a show from a remote location, so I don't have my normal setup. Hopefully the audio is good. Hopefully the connection lasts, but I couldn't miss the Sunday Service after a pay-per-view. Okay, UFC 316 just went down last night. I got the stats pulled up on my screen, on my phone, I should say, after last night, and the stats tell a pretty solid story of what happened. Okay, Sean O'Malley quit last night in the main event. He quit. It was starting to not go his way, and he quit. Because Merab ain't finishing anybody with chokes, okay? Merab ain't finishing anybody, period. Unless you're Marlon Moraes, who's on like an 8-fight losing loss streak where he's getting finished. O'Malley quit. I had the suspicion going into this fight that O'Malley was either going to come out looking his career best or he was going to have a point where he just didn't want to be in there. And I think we saw that. I think we saw that in the main event. We'll talk about that. Co-main event, we all pretty much saw it coming. Kayla Harrison ran through her, and she was minus 700. So that pretty much told the story. The odds told the story of that fight. Juliana Pena didn't have much of a chance to win that one. Joe Pyfer gets it done, sure. You know, pretty much saw that one coming as well. But Patchy Mix. I don't know what that man was doing. It looked like he was paid to lose that fight. Talk about not fighting to your strengths. Patchy Mix is the poster child for that after last night. What was he doing? He looked awful. He's not a striker. If he was going to lose, that was the way he's going to lose. And I didn't even have that much money on him. I only had him by sub because I was like, if he doesn't sub him, he could easily lose. Mario Batista is not bad. But I was just more disappointed with the performance. Like, dude, how are you not going to shoot a takedown? You know you can't outstrike this guy. I don't know if he had an injury or what, but it was brutal. A brutal watch. I was sitting there just furious. Potawatomi also got the best of me last night. They tore me apart. All right. They rinsed me for a good amount of money, and hopefully we can get that back. Hopefully next time Potawatomi is down bad and I'm not down bad. But after the main event, I was super down bad. Brutal night. What is the first fight? Kevin Holland submits Vicente Luque in the second round. Darce choke? Was it a Darce or an anaconda? I think it was a Darce. Oh, they ruled it an anaconda. I guess that makes sense. Either way, let's hit some chats. That was pretty much the main card, but we're going to hit the chats right here. Carlos with the W. How we doing, Carlos? Thoughts on Patchy Mix? Well, Patchy Mix, I honestly feel like he had some sort of injury. And if he had some sort of injury, why? I mean, he took the fight on 3 weeks' notice. So maybe he was injured and just took it to get into the UFC, but you only get one shot at a UFC debut. And if you're going to go in there injured and fight like he did, that's going to leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Nobody's going to care to watch you fight next. I would rather just wait on the opportunity. He's been out for like a year, but wait on the opportunity so you're healthy. You can go in there and put on a good performance. The dude really went out there almost like he wanted to lose, like he was being paid off to lose. Didn't shoot a takedown until round 3 after he's lost the first 2 rounds, and it was a half-assed takedown. I think he attempted 1 takedown the entire 15 minutes. Just straight up kickbox with the way better kickboxer. Unbelievable stuff. Carlos, how we doing? Can't believe Sugar quit, man. That shit was some BS. I agree. How I hit too many 2-man parlay in a row, bro? It's actually 3. It's 3 many-men parlays in a row. Something's in the air. Something's in the air, boys. Many-men parlay has hit 3 weeks in a row. Maybe this is the turning point. Maybe this could be the point where the many-men parlay becomes the most profitable parlay in the area, in the space of betting MMA. It could be. You never know. O'Malley should have retired. I honestly thought he was maybe going to retire because he stuck around and Joe Rogan went over there with the mic. And the way that he was speaking, I honestly could believe that he was going to retire. He was basically just saying how grateful he was, and it's something that you would say if you were going to retire, or if your mindset is to the point where he's not going to beat the champ. He's lost to the champion twice already. He's got all the money in the world. Is there any possibility that he comes back and just shows up for paychecks or fun fights? I don't know, but he's still young. There's also just the thing, if you make so much money, you don't have the same drive to go in there and put on big performances and like grit out stuff. Like, I feel like he could have gritted out that choke. I mean, there wasn't that much time on the clock. As I said, Merab is not some submission ace. He's not going in there submitting people. He's not submitting anybody. I think that was his first UFC submission win. Only his second of his entire MMA career. He's not submitting anybody. And it didn't even, like, they couldn't even tell you what choke that was. What did they even say it was? They said it was a guillotine choke. I don't know, man. I don't know. That doesn't really look like a guillotine to me. Switch coaches? Yeah, he'll never switch coaches. I highly doubt it. I don't know if it's the coaching, though. I don't know. I also thought his game plan was, it looked good to start off, and then he just kind of abandoned it. He came out, put the pressure on Merab, exactly what you need to do. Put the pressure on Merab so that you're not back up against the cage and you have room to move around, so when Merab shoots his takedown, you can defend it and you're not up against the cage with your back up against the wall. He had the right game plan to start off, and then he just kind of abandoned it. He just let Merab dictate whatever he wanted to do, put his back up against the cage. Merab just barrel rolls his way into a takedown. Literally, O'Malley's tripping along the cage. Like, this is what happened in the first fight, bro. You're skirting around the outside of the octagon. You're losing the battle for position. And Merab is just going to do what he does. Just going to do what he does. I thought the game plan looked good, but he just abandoned it. And ultimately fucked him, dude. Very nice Kimura from Kayla Harrison. Yeah, I also was like, dude, she locked that in. And Juliana tapped probably 4 or 5 seconds after she had started to lock it in. I know Kimura is pretty nasty, and you don't want your arm to snap, but there was like 5 seconds on the clock. If you're a champion, are you tapping to that? Come on. You're tapping that with 5 seconds if you're a champion? I don't believe it. Can't believe he gave up an even tap, bro. Like, what the fuck? I understand if it's an armbar or a heel hook. Yeah, man, at least, like, it almost looked like he didn't know what to do, or he was just smothered to the point where he panic tapped. But it didn't even look like a panic tap. Like, he brought his arm up, was getting ready to tap, and he's like, all right, I'm going to tap everybody. Here it comes. Tap, tap, tap. Fight's over. It looked sort of like a quit, man. It looked like a quit. Do you think Timbo, his coach, quit social media and smoking weed? No, I don't. Not that would make a difference. I would beat Patchy Mix's ass last night. I think Patchy pissed off everybody. Maybe that's part of his game plan. Maybe that's his game plan, to just become the guy that everybody hates. Just go out there, have the worst performance of your life, so that 84% of people that put money on that fight were on Patchy Mix. 84% of the MMA fan base just fucking hates you. Maybe that's his game plan. I don't know. I mean, that's probably the only logical thing that I could think of. Brutal stuff from Patchy. Brutal. And going into that fight, everybody hated Mario Batista. Now Batista gets off because Patchy Mix fucking sucked in that fight. So now everybody hates Patchy Mix, and nobody really cares about Mario Batista. They ain't going to hate on Batista anymore. Batista had a good performance, so I got to give it to him. O'Malley needs to hit the bong again. Send Patchy back to Bellator. I mean, Bellator's not a thing, but I'm interested to see what they do with Patchy moving forward. But good Lord, bro. Patchy was looking like me after 6 mojitos. The head movement was not there. Not like, just completely absent. He would get hit with a shot, and like not even react to it. He would just get bonked in the face and just stand there, still head still there, over and over and over again. I don't know what that dude was doing, man. Brutal stuff. Negative fight IQ, I agree. O'Malley coach is a yes man. That's another thing, too. I think it was after round one. Where, O'Malley looked pretty solid for the first 3 minutes. And then Merab got a takedown. And then they go back to the corner. And Tim Welch is in his ear like, you're doing great. You're doing great. You look amazing right now. I'm like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't, dude. Like, he had little to no success in the striking because he was too scared to throw anything. And then he backed himself up against the cage, got taken down. And pretty much, I think he kind of fought off a takedown or two. But, like, he clearly lost the round. After that round, I'm like, that's a Merab 10-9 round because there wasn't much happening in the striking and he got taken down. That's a Merab 10-9. And Tim Welch is in his ear like, you're doing amazing. I'm like, bro, does O'Malley just not respond to proper coaching of like, that was not your round. You lost that round. We need more urgency. We need you to stay off the cage so Merab can't shoot takedowns. Like, is that out of the realm of possibility where a coach could tell their fighter what they actually need to do instead of just kissing their ass so they feel good? Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? Maybe he is a yes man. It looks like it, honestly. How do you let Batista strike you down? Bro, Batista's not a bad striker. He's not. He's a solid striker. And he has hella cardio, hella volume. I just did not expect Patchy to not shoot a single takedown through 10 minutes, man. Ring rust for Patchy, maybe if he dropped the first round like that, but round two, I'm like, he didn't shoot a single takedown in round one. And then round two comes, I'm like, all right, we clearly know you're not winning a striking battle after the 5 minutes that just played out where you got your ass beat. So maybe it's time to mix it up. Maybe it's time to look for something else. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Did we talk about Patchy? Everybody's talking about Patchy right now. I've given a lot of shit on Patchy. Let's make it 4, man. 4 in a row for the many men. You think Kmart Usman can get that W? I highly doubt it, man. I highly doubt it. I can tell you right now, he ain't getting none of my money. He ain't getting none of my money this week. I don't care whatever argument somebody could throw at me. There's no way I'm putting a single penny on Kamaru Usman to beat Joaquin Buckley, okay? It's just not happening. Can't believe I bet O'Malley. The fuck wrong with me? That's what I'm saying, bro. On paper, it's like, doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look terrible. But Merab is a motherfucker, for one. Merab is a motherfucker, and if O'Malley fought to his capabilities with a better game plan, more urgency, like I feel like he could give Merab a solid fight. But he just gets in there and he just didn't do anything, man. Just didn't do anything. So, yeah, hindsight's always 20/20. I'm gonna be honest. Is a bad bet when you look at it. With the gloves off and his dad in his corner. That was another thing, bro. I heard that he was gonna have his dad in his corner. And I was like, why? Why? Like, that just seems like something that a fighter would do when they aren't taking things super serious. They're like, okay, I've made it to this point. I want to give my dad, something that he can remember. Bring my dad in here, a good experience for the family, a little bonding thing, a little gift to the dad. That doesn't really tell me that this dude's locked in, okay? If he had pulled fucking Mario Batista from the back and be like, bro, I need you in my corner to hype me up, to give me some of that EPO in your veins, then I would be into it. But the dad in the corner, unless he's been there the entire time, which he hasn't, unless he's been there the entire time, that's kind of a red flag. Sean versus Umar make it happen? I think Umar would fucking ragdoll him at this point, bro. They got to make Sean versus like Cejudo or something. They got to give him a winnable fight. Ninja Ezekiel choke, is that? They said it's a guillotine on UFC stats, so I would say it's more like the Ninja Ezekiel for sure. Patchy looked at it like that in other fights. It wasn't ring rust. Yeah, I don't think it was ring rust. I just think I knew his striking was not good, but I didn't think he would just strike with him for 15 minutes. I thought this guy with 15 submission wins would probably try to take the fight to the ground, but he didn't do that. Lowered the output. That's the thing with O'Malley, bro. You get in front of a wrestler and you just show up. He opened with a spinning backpack kick, and I thought it was going to be a new and improved Shug, but then Merab spammed the takedown. He completely abandoned all kicks, which he shouldn't have done. 100%. You're going to get taken down, bro. You got to at least make the moments that you have on the feet count, and he just doesn't do that. He didn't do it in the first fight. I expected him to try and do that in the second fight. He didn't do it. Told you that Azmat KO was a lock. I mean, it was like minus 200 something, bro. So that's like me saying, Joshua Van to win was a lock. Okay. UFC squeezed all the juice out of O'Malley. He's done. I don't see him fighting this year again. I don't know that he's going to fight this year again either. KG needs to retire or move down to welterweight. We've been saying this for a long time. It probably ain't going to happen. Kelvin Gastelum just is what he is. I think he's just showing up for paychecks nowadays. Who wins, Kayla or Amanda? I think Amanda Nunes would still beat her, bro. I honestly don't think Kayla's takedowns are that great. Juliana Pena's takedown defense is some of the worst ever in UFC history. I think Amanda Nunes, if she stuffs those takedowns, is probably going to piece her up, bro. Patchy's never been a good striker. It was weird watching people melt down yesterday over his lack of footwork. I mean, I knew this. I knew he wasn't a good striker. It's more just the fact that he didn't shoot takedowns, dude. Like, you're dumb. You're dumb. You could see the fear on Juliana's face when her arm got locked. I don't blame her. That shit was instant deep. It was pretty deep, but I mean, if her game plan was to weather the early storm and try to take over in the fight later, you got to be able to fucking dog out any of that shit. Dog it out. If it snaps, it snaps. Okay, the fight's over. You're the champion of the world. You're the champion of the world, biggest underdog in championship history. And you tap to the Kimura. I don't know. I mean, I probably shouldn't talk shit about that because I would have tapped too, but it's a different level, man. That Kimura from Kayla would have broken the arm. It definitely would have. Sugar Def gave up on the quit, hit the quit button, 100%. Chaos versus Gustafsson over was a lock. It was, and I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed because I went 11-2 on my picks. If you watch my official picks video, I went 11-2. I got 2 of the 3 underdogs that won. Waldo, I picked Waldo, and I picked Gustafsson. And I said it all week. I said, if Gustafsson doesn't get KO'd round 1, his pace and his clinching is going to tire out Chaos Williams, and he could easily snowball that and win a decision. And Gustafsson decision was like plus 600. Guess who didn't bet it? Guess who didn't bet it? Me. So there's many bets from last night that I'm looking back on, and I'm like, how I picked it on the show. I've said it all week. How did I not bet it? I think it was just because I didn't want to overexpose myself on that fight just in case there was a KO one. But I got to stop living in fear sometimes on my bets, man. Just got to stop living in fear. Patchy mix with a bum. Wow. Great read on ITD for Van versus Sylvia. You made me bags on that read last night. I was going to literally chuck my drink at the TV at the sports book if that fight went the distance because Joshua Van knocked him down 3 times. 3 times through 2 rounds. And I'm like, bro, what do I have to do? Do I have to go out there? Like, do I have to fly to New Jersey, bring a gun, and shoot Bruno Silva in the octagon to get this fight over with? Because Joshua Van knocked this dude down 3 times in the first 2 rounds. And I was looking at it like, okay, Bruno Silva's probably just going to coast to a decision loss here because Joshua Van, he's kind of, I don't want to say he's playing it safe, but he's being calculated with his shots. And he was just cracking Bruno with everything. And he just couldn't follow up with anything. And I think Bruno just kind of gassed out towards the end and didn't want to be in there anymore. But Joshua Van got it done for us. Shout out to Joshua Van. Never took a boxing class. That's another thing, man. Like, how are you an MMA fighter, you don't have a single lick of head movement whatsoever. A single lick. Patchy. Super flat-footed, too. O'Malley knew he was going to lose. It kind of seemed like it, man. Didn't Mario beat Jose Aldo? Yeah, he did. Mario or Merab versus Ilya. If Ilya never moved up, that would never happen because they're friends, but that would be interesting for sure. Volkov is best Bellator fighter on God. People forget, man. People forget Volkov had a long Bellator career before he got to the UFC and was pretty dang good. Round 2, 60-plus strike differential. Yeah. Rob mauled him. Sugar looked defeated in the corner. Kinda, yeah. Got Merab sub live plus 2,000 in round 2. I mean, if you had Merab by sub in that fight, and you actually had you weren't just throwing shit at the wall hoping it stuck. If you had Merab by sub in that fight, shout out to you, because looking back on it now, the opportunities for it would just definitely be there. Tim Welch is a butt buddy, not a coach. Tim Welch had no coaching. Pretty valid, man. Harsh, but pretty valid. Bautista had the BJJ nerd community dead silent. Yeah. Pray for Unc Usman this week. Send your prayers to Unc Usman going up against Buckley. I'm going to be there in Atlanta this Saturday, boys. I fly into Atlanta on Saturday. I'll be in a suite in the arena. Should be fun. The fights this week are really solid, dude. Really solid. Good fight night. Solid main event. I wish I could ask Patchy what the game plan was. I mean, the game plan was probably just to ruin everything. Ruin everything. Ruin your career. Ruin everyone's parlays. Ruin everything. That was probably his game plan. Because that's what he did. Went in there and just fucking did nothing. Piper ruined my parlays? I don't know what you mean by that. He won. Cut Patchy mix, please. And Sugar Sean either got to move up to featherweight or retire, in my opinion. Maybe they should just do Sugar Sean versus Patchy mix. Just throw him in there, boys. Just throw him in there. UFC 316, boring AF. I didn't think it was that boring, but that Sweet is a monster, bro. He is. He is a monster, dude. Gustafson's a fucking lunatic. He is a lunatic. Rose by decision. It's going to be chalky. Bruno Silva hit the quit button. He kind of does. A lot of quit buttons did hit. Even a barrel kind of. He tapped. He tapped the strikes. But he did get fucking clocked. And I would not want to get hit by Mirzakhanov. Mirzakhanov has some pop in his shots, dude. His left hand is nasty. Caught him on the temple. He tried to fight through it, but he's like, yeah, I'm not getting out of here. Let me tap to it. First Rose fight that isn't 5 rounds in a long while. She had a 3-rounder with Furo. So it's not super long ago. But I'm kind of glad it's 3 rounds, to be honest. Maverick's a big dog this week. We'll see if there's anything there. I got to look at that one a little bit more. Who's next for Mario? I mean, they could just rebook the Cheeto fight. Or they could make Mario versus, Figueiredo or something. If Figgy's going to come back. If he's going to come back. When he comes back. I don't know. But that's a solid matchup. Mario's good, man. He's not bad. Usman knee's going to be snapping and cracking on the way fucking out. I'll be listening. I hope they have those knees mic'd up. They should really do that. They should throw a mic on Kamaru Usman shorts just to hear the snap, crackle, and pop that's going on in those knees. That would be hilarious. Little ASMR on Usman's knees. Rose versus Miranda over 2.5 is a lock. It's minus 400, so go ahead, play that. Buckley leg kick KO. I mean, Buckley's not really a big leg kicker, but he'd probably have to do some oblique kicks. He'd have to take a page out of the John Jones book. Little southpaw unorthodox. Little oblique kicks. Could happen. Did you make money last night? No, bro. I got cooked. But there was... It honestly just pisses me off sometimes when when I lose money and I see spots that I had correct but I didn't bet them, and then I have spots that I did bet and the fighter did not fight to their potential or they had a terrible game plan. That's like the worst way to have a losing night, is when you had bets you were on but you didn't place and they cashed, and then there's bets you did place and the fighters, I mean, how the fight played out was just like ridiculous. So no, I didn't make money last night. It was a rough night. Pato absolutely cooked me. Once I seen the graphic, 85% of moneyline bets was on Patchy. I knew he was toast. Yeah, that's the kiss of death, man. I'm pretty sure they did that with O'Malley as well. The little Korean KO was nasty. That was nasty, dude. Jekka got not sent to the shadow realm. He got flown first class to the shadow realm, bro. Like, that check hook, snapped his neck. Like, it barely touched him. It wasn't like some big wind-up shot. Just nice timing. Whipped it nicely. Whipped his neck. Beautiful stuff. I thought Tatiana Suarez was going to call off the wedding after the patch. That's brutal. Well, I mean, Tatiana knows that feeling, that's for sure. Chekasirgi got finished. Anshul Jubli. By Anshul Jubli, yeah. Why is he in the UFC? Because he's from Indonesia, and he puts on some fun fights, whether he's getting knocked out or he's doing the knocking out, but that's really the only reason why. I kicked myself not taking the Waldo fight over. Yeah, I took the under on that one, and they just gassed out after round one, which sucks. Absolutely sucks. Why did Patchy have no game plan for the takedowns? Dudes was standing there stiff. I mean, if I could tell you, I would feel better about it, but I literally could not tell you. Could not give you a reason why. Was Rose versus Cortez 5 rounds? Yes, it was. Mario versus Umar? That would be interesting. Mario Figgy would be a banger. I know, right? If Figgy can get healthy, Mario versus Figgy would be solid. Cody or Barcelos? I dropped my early picks video today, earlier in the day, because I filmed it on Friday. And I picked Barcelos for my early pick. And I think that's probably the way I'm probably going to go. But I think Barcelos is just a better fighter overall at this point in their career, honestly. No pay-per-view in September? No, they always got a pay-per-view. There's no month without pay-per-views. Come on now. It's probably just not scheduled. Where was the referee camera glasses this pay-per-view? I don't know. But they got to bring that back, because that Billy Goff one was, like, brutal, man. That was viral. They should definitely have those. PFL cease and desist? What is that? On the Patchy performance, are you talking about? Patchy. Dude, everyone hates Patchy now. Ugh. Sean has never touched a gold again. 100%. That shit sucks. Sometimes it happens. Yeah. Just how it goes. Fiziev or Bahamondes? I'm kind of going with Bahamondes, man. I mean, I don't think Fiziev to me did not look good his last time out against Gaethje. I really didn't think he looked good. And maybe we could see a decline for Fiziev. I know he's not the youngest guy, and he had been coming off that knee injury. He took the fight on short notice, but I think Bahamondes is a real problem. Waldo takedown defense was holding up. Shout out to Waldo. Waldo actually seems like a well-rounded heavyweight, which is tough to come by. But I don't even know if he puts on like great performances. He has better cardio, better fight IQ than a lot of these guys. He has the ability to stuff takedowns. He has a granite chin as well. So that'll take you pretty far in the heavyweight division. He says he wants the top 5 opponent next. He's on an 8-fight win streak. Umar just got shit on by Merab. Make them fight. Why not? I mean, I don't see why not. They'll probably do it in fucking Abu Dhabi, though. So that sucks for Mario. Patchy just put out his excuse. Do I have to look at this? Where did he put it out? Someone tell me in the chat. Is it on his IG? Five new posts from Patchy. It's not on his IG. Tough night for me in the office, but I appreciate the people that have supported and been along for the ride. Would have liked to do more and made adjustments. I would come back stronger from this moment. I'm in. I don't see an excuse in there. Just that he took the fight on 3 weeks' notice against a guy who's on an 8-fight win streak. Doesn't really seem like an excuse. I guess maybe the short notice, but I don't know. Doesn't seem like an excuse. Dana confirmed no pay-per-view in September in the press conference. I guess I didn't watch that, but that's fucking brutal. I guess they're going to have Noche. So I guess, yeah. Noche UFC is usually in September, and they were going to have a pay-per-view, but it got moved to a fight night. So hopefully they just have like 4 banger fight nights. If they give us like 2 Apex cards, the Noche UFC, and like some other shit fight night, then that sucks ass. Never stop Professor Parlay. I won't, bro. I won't. Wait, you didn't think Sean was going to win? Wait up. I don't know what that means, bro. DDP of Chimaev /Imavov. /Imavov. Nice. Glad you included that. I'm going to ride with my boy DDP. Notice how I said that. I'm going to ride with my boy DDP. I'm not riding DDP. I'm going to ride with my boy DDP until the brakes fall off. You think Buckley can finish him, or the decision is the move? I think Buckley can finish him, bro. I don't see why Usman can't get finished. I mean, Usman, I don't think has fought very dangerous guys in his run. I've actually been the guy that has been saying for a very long time that Kamaru Usman's title reign fucking sucks, dude. It sucks. It's Colby Covington twice. It's Jorge Masvidal twice. And the win over Gilbert Burns. Jorge Masvidal, I think, is not good. I never thought Jorge Masvidal was good. He's more of a journeyman that had like a good little run, and then they gave him 2 title fights for basically nothing. Colby Covington, kind of the same way, journeyman, not evolved. He's mainly a wrestler that has some ability to strike, but he got a little bit older. Now he's absolute trash. He was better a few years ago, but when they fought, they were pretty much just striking, and like Usman's clearly the better striker than Colby Covington. And he beat Gilbert Burns, knocked him out in, the second round? Like, that's a tough fight for Gilbert. Like, is he going to take down Kamaru? No. Is he going to outstrike Kamaru? Probably not. So, Usman's title reign to me has always been overrated as shit. And that's the reason why when Leon Edwards head kicked him, I was like, all right, he's done. This dude is cooked. He's cooked because he had a Mickey Mouse title run. Title reign, I should say. A Mickey Mouse title reign. And then he gets knocked out. Well, it's like, okay, he might start doubting himself. And what did he do in the next fight? He doubted himself. He looked older. He looked slower. He looked like he was more hesitant. And Leon Edwards won the fight by decision, outpointed him, defended most of his takedowns, and won with a point deduction. And then he fought Chimaev on short notice. And at that point, I'm like, Usman is taking fights for the money. He got a ton of money to fight Chimaev on short notice. And we haven't seen him in, over 2 years? Over 2 years. We haven't seen him. And now he's 38. I don't see why Buckley can't come in here and finish him. Buckley's a huge power puncher, one of the only guys to knock out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And he knocked him out clean. I know Wonderboy's older, but he's still got a solid chin on him. Still a really good striker. And Buckley didn't have a lot of wrestling success in that fight. He had to get the knockout in the third round. He did. And then he beat the piss out of Colby. I don't see why he can't just beat the piss out of Usman again. So I don't know why. I don't know that Buckley couldn't finish him. Like, I think the finish is definitely on the table. Fiziev gets murdered by Bahamondes. I don't know that he gets murdered, but I think he could lose. Waldo versus Aspinall bucket. Yeah. Give me Aspinall versus Waldo now. Waldo's championship level after going to a close decision with Spivak. You don't think Usman has a chance at all this week? And I feel like with Buckley calling him out, he has a game plan and knows what Usman is going to bring to the fight. I don't know that Usman has much of a chance, man. Like I've already said it, but I'm not throwing a single penny on Kamaru Usman. I'm not throwing a penny on those snap, crackle, pop knees. 38 years of age. I'm not doing it. Man. It's Buckley or pass. I don't think he's going to wrestle looking his IG, and it's also hometown advantage. I think he's going to wrestle. I'm talking about Usman, I'm guessing? I don't know. What's Usman's path? Exactly. Like, what is Usman's path? Outstrike Joaquin Buckley? I mean, I don't see how he's going to, like, run away with a striking battle. Is he going to take down and maul Buckley? He might be able to take him down a couple times, but Usman's not, like, the best with his control. He's more of a wear you down, like, take you down, not let you get back up, but be heavy on top, force you to work to get back up, and then take you down again. Usman could maybe knock him out. Like, Usman probably still has some power, and Buckley has been knocked out. But all his knockout losses were at 185, where he was undersized. At 170, he's shown a pretty good chin. He's got better movement. He's more athletic in his prime. Big power, solid wrestling. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Usman's going to be looking like he's stuck in the mud. I think Buckley's probably going to be running laps on him, man. Buckley by looping hook like he did to Wonder Boy. I could see it, man. Wellmaker KO, put the rent on it, bro. The people, so Moutinho's back. If you didn't know, Chris Moutinho's back. He had that crazy fight with O'Malley where O'Malley just beat the shit out of him for 3 rounds, and Herb Dean like stepped in because he's like, dude, this guy might die if I don't step in, so I have to step in even though he's still standing. He went to the 3rd round with Sean O'Malley, and then his next fight, he fought a complete journey, not even a journeyman, like near taxi driver status, 41-year-old Guido Canetti, and he got TKO'd in the 1st round, bro. In the first round, and he was a favorite. Wellmaker, probably one of the best KO artists when it comes to guys outside the top 25 in the bantamweight division. If he doesn't knock out Chris Moutinho, something went wrong. If he should absolutely knock out Chris Moutinho in round 1. Usman's COVID reign was a brainwash. So true, bro. Bautista chads up big. He was a lock. Patchy was looking through Mario to his next fight against Victor Henry. Victor Henry or like fucking Ricky Simone or some shit. Who's next for Pyfer? Pyfer was boring. Hey, I thought that fight sucked, dude. I mean, he knocked him down twice, but I was just waiting for Pyfer to like unload something. Like, it's clear you're the better striker here. Fucking go for it. I think he's just so scared of gassing out. I don't know who's next for Pyfer, but give him somebody solid, dude. Point fighting so we don't gas. Exactly. What odds do you think the sports book on Buckley KO will they give? Honestly, I think it'll probably be like plus 150, plus 140, maybe even worse, maybe plus 120. I don't think you're going to get 2-1. I highly doubt it. Definitely under 2. Yeah, definitely under 2-1. Plus 150 is probably what I'm thinking they'll put it at. Almost lost this split. Usman giving Buck the rub since they brothers know what I mean. Empowerment. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Pyfer pissed people off. Okay. Well, it looks like there's some Pyfer hate. Wellmaker minus 1350 is criminal opening odds, even if Moutinho is a punching bag. Yeah, I mean, there is a path through Moutinho, but I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. He would have to grapple him up for 3 rounds. Charles Jourdain plus 140. I did look at that this morning. Very intriguing. Sorry, I burped. I think Song Yadong versus Sean O'Malley is the fight to make. Could be a solid fight. Usman going to be showing up 95% of the time with Buckley leaping, jumping back and forth, in and out, all that movement. It's going to be a Colby-type beating. Pretty much what I'm seeing, 99 parlays. I mean, I think very similar things can happen to Usman that happened to Colby Covington when he fought Buckley. As much as it sucks to say. I had a near max bet on Buckley against Colby. A near max bet. I was like, there's no way Colby wins this fight. There's absolutely none. Buckley at minus 200 was like the lock of the century. I had Buckley by KO as well. And actually sprinkled on KO round 3. But it's just so different, man. Like, Usman is just not at the physical level that you need to be at to fight Joaquin Buckley, bro. Respect our boy Guido. Shout out to Guido. Late to the party, but is Bautista that good, or is Patchy fraud checked? Patchy got fraud checked for sure. Two things can be true. Bautista is good, but Patchy got fraud checked because this dude fought like a fucking idiot. He fought like an idiot. Didn't go to his wrestling at all. And if you're going to stand and strike with Bautista, you're going to lose. Because Patchy Mix is not a good striker. So fraud checked in his fight IQ for sure. Any submission specialist will submit Medeiros with ease, especially if they force him to work and gas out. Choinsky took his back so easily. That's another fight I was pissed about. Choinsky was striking way too much with Medeiros. Why was he striking that much? Why did he just keep standing at kicking range? And that was my concern for Choinsky. So I was like, dude, he can take Medeiros down. He can get into dominant positions against Medeiros on the ground. Medeiros is not that great of a grappler, but he does know how to survive. But I was like, if Choinsky can just keep these positions, he can win. He could easily win. But Choinsky, inexperienced, I don't think he had a great game plan going in, and he didn't know how to adjust because he's been fighting on the regional scene, but he just kept getting kicked in the leg. Joe Rogan's literally about to orgasm watching him getting kicked in the leg, and he just kept getting back up and then standing at kicking range. Like, Medeiros is just licking his chops to kick that leg again, and Joe Rogan's like beating off to it. So I think Choinsky's lack of experience ultimately lost him that fight. But like you said, dude, any good submission specialist could take down Medeiros and get his back. Spivak got robbed. I don't see how Spivak got robbed, to be honest. I really don't. Piper got no volume, just swing right hand and inch. So true. Zero volume. But he does control the fight, because if he hits you, you're going to feel it. So he doesn't really need to be a volume striker because he hits so hard and guys don't want to throw on him. I'm not sold on Quillen either because he gets hit. He does get hit. I will say that. Ashmoose hit him with some nice shots, but Salkild is durable. Buckley by KO are points and Wellmaker by KO. Easy money. I would tend to agree. What the fuck was Chaos doing? He didn't even try to swing or put up a fight. Crazy, man. I mean, he couldn't. He was getting swarmed, bro. He's getting swarmed by an absolute mauler in Andreas Gustafsson. He was getting mauled the entire fight. He just couldn't get him off him. We riding Cody or not? We are not riding Cody because that would be frowned upon, even in Pride Month. We're not riding Cody. We're not riding with Cody either. I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it. His favorite Chinese? Why are all the fighters from China? A little dude getting prospects shipped to his gym. Yeah, dude, I think it's just because they're on the West Coast. So it's like closer to China, right? There's probably a lot of Chinese in that area. Just makes sense. Maybe they got like a good Chinese translator that works at the gym. But interesting. There is something to be said, though. You know, Uriah Faber loves getting those Chinese prospects. So maybe he's got to connect over there. You need to have a sit-down conversation with Matty Betts and have him stop spending all of his crypto money on betting. He's going to be homeless. It's been a rough time, man. It's been a rough stretch for the kid. He has his own promotion. Yeah, you're right, he does. Imagine a stomp like Khalil did, bro. If Buckley starts throwing Khalil-type oblique kicks, Usman is fucked, bro. That knee is gone, bro. Do I bet live? Sometimes, but only if there's like a spot where I'm eyeing it up beforehand to be like, okay, if this guy loses round one, I know he's got better cardio than this guy. I'll bet him after round one if, his line shifts. But fairly rarely. Thoughts on Patchy? Disappointed, bro. Disappointed. Gustafsson looked like he was fighting in the prison yard. Gustafsson's a mad dude. He's just an absolute madman. Pfeiffer versus Bo Nickel, battle of the frauds. I mean, I don't think they should be giving Bo Nickel to Pfeiffer. I don't know what Bo Nickel's going to do in that fight. He's probably going to get KO'd again. Am I crazy to think Barcelos is going to finish Cody? I don't know if he's going to finish him, but I think Barcelos could definitely run away with it. DC and Joe Rogan watching Quinlan LOL and laughing about it for minutes. I didn't hear the commentary for that fight, so maybe I don't know what you're talking about, but I guess it was interesting. KS got fucking flanked. Dude, he got flanked from every angle. That man was fighting for his life in there. A sprinkling on Cody Durden, round 2 or 3. There's 3 Codys on this card, by the way, so if you're going to talk about a Cody, you got to specify. But Cody Durden, round 2 or 3, would be some pretty juicy odds. I don't know that he wins that fight, bro. What do you think of Wellmaker at minus 1,300? Was hoping for better value, but I expected it would be crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't parlay Wellmaker at minus 1,300. Just don't even add it to your leg. It's not going to do anything to it. We also have to remember that Wellmaker's taking this fight on like 11 days' notice. Somewhat similar to Matinho. But Wellmaker should fucking knock him out. Like, if anything, just take Wellmaker KO. It's probably going to be a little bit better. Medeiros has a wild-ass stomp on the thigh this weekend. It was actually nasty because he leg kicked him, dropped him, and then just kept stomping on his leg. I was like, damn, dude, that is brutal. I didn't even know you could do something like that. Gustafsson fighting like the rent was due. He always does, bro. That dude is an animal. An animal. It's kind of giving me like DDP vibes. Somewhat. Because, I mean, DDP is way more skilled than Gustafsson, but you watch Gustafsson, you're like, this dude fucking sucks. But it's effective. He said it himself. He goes full retard. If you go full retard and you are somewhat of a retard, it can work. It can work if you're that physical, you know your game, and you just don't let up. And you have cardio to back it up. Like, Gustafsson is that dude. Considering Pfeiffer is one of Dana's boys, he'll never have a true hard fight. LOL, gotta fade him right spot. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that they really booked him with Kelvin. Like, it didn't really make any sense to me. Not really a matchup that people were, like, wanting. Pfeiffer's not that big of a star, honestly. Like, UFC fans know him, but a lot of people just don't know him. The casuals definitely don't. Aaron Lipsky cut from UFC, or is she the women gatekeeper? Well, I don't know how they allowed Lipsky to fight with like a brain tumor or whatever the fuck they caught. They caught something on her medical records, and they allowed her to fight after missing weight by 6 pounds. I don't know how they let that happen or how that slid past the commission, but the commission, I guess, looked the other way. And I don't know if they're going to cut Lipsky after this or what, but she did as best as she could, honestly. She was severely outgunned. Kong Wang, or Wong Tong, whatever the fuck you say it, is an absolute beast. So, tough fight for her. Maybe she'll get cut because she missed weight by 6 pounds. What minute we bet in Wellmaker KO? I would give it probably somewhere in between a minute and 2 minutes. So, you could take the under half a round. Probably be good. But Wellmaker should get it done. You know what you're getting with Gus, unlike Patchy. Very true. Very, very true, bro. And that's why I can respect guys like Gustafsson. Outside of just their fight style, at least you know what they're going to do. Everybody knows if you watch a Gustafsson fight, you know what he's going to do. Get into the clinch and want to be there the entire fight. I was actually pissed that Beltran broke them up after 2.5 minutes into the fight. He broke up the clinch. I was like, dude, this is where Gustafsson cooks. You know what you're going to get with Gus. Patchy, I knew what I was going to get. Some grappling. Not the case. Mirzakhanov or Pereira? Pereira should fucking beat him, bro. Pereira should beat him. But Mirzakhanov is nasty. I've been waiting for Mirzakhanov to get a better matchup because I remember his fight on the Contender Series, actually. I was like, dude, Mirzakhanov's fucking good. And then he had a flying knee knockout in his UFC debut. I bet on him there. I was like, dude, this guy is fucking good. He just doesn't fight that often. But he is fucking nasty. Eben Shabazian is a smaller favorite than I thought. I think for this price, his money line is a great pick. He's like minus 200. I actually saw him in Las Vegas when we were there for the Apex fight. Saw him training. Looks ready to go. Leg stomp was technically illegal. Well, they should have took a fucking point for it then. Would have helped me out. Can't 12-6 elbow in New Jersey, but you can fight with a tumor, no problem. Yeah, dude, like what? Can't 12-6 elbow, but you got a brain tumor. You miss weight by 6 pounds. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. We'll let it slide. Of course, that pain you got that point taken away. It took the momentum out of the fight. Yeah, that was interesting. Not that it made a difference, but she got the point taken in round 1. I was like, dude, she literally needs to win 4 rounds in a row to win this fight. Otherwise, she's done. Like, you got to win the next 4 rounds. It was cooked from there. What do you think about Bahamondes and Fiziev and Baku? I think Bahamondes takes it, bro. A lot of people asking about this fight, so I guess that's one people are looking forward to. Book Mirzakhanov versus Ankalaev. They should do Mirzakhanov against, like, fucking Yuri Prohashka or something. Give him somebody, bro. Mirzakhanov, loser of Jamal Hill, Khalil Roundtree. Something like that. They got to give him a good fight. Dude is nasty. Michael Chiesa and Court McGee. That's one to watch. No lie. Didn't know Court McGee was still fighting. He's coming off a win, too. He's coming off a win. I don't know if that's one to watch, though. Benign tumor in pituitary gland. Don't know what that means, but sounds like it's not good. Ref is a G for taking a point. Very true. Kayla's a beast, but there's no way she gets past Amanda. I kind of agree. I don't think there's no way, but I think Amanda would win. My money would be on Amanda. I feel like that's why she tapped so quick, to be honest. She knew she got fucked from the jump. Fairly true, dude. She was going to be down 2 rounds to nothing. She was going to be down 20-17, you know? She was fucked. Need more of him, less Herbs and Murray Liotta. Agree. 11 a.m. start time Saturday, boys. That's not this card. Atlanta starts at like 6 p.m. Hopefully. Otherwise, I'm going to have to change my flight. But I think this Saturday is normal. And then the next Saturday in Baku is 11 a.m. Let me just double check that. Yeah. Baku is 11 a.m. I love those start times. Yeah, we're still 6 p.m. for this Saturday. What's your opinion on the Toronto accent? My two twos, my world fan? I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't even know what a Toronto accent is, so sorry, bro. Lights look too bright for Patchy. He talked like he was going to run through guys and just stood there getting 1-2'd in the face. Yeah. Disgusting. Disgusting performance. Cody No Love? Nah, bro. Word fan. This card way better than 316. I'm not going to lie. For a fight night, when I'm looking at fight nights this year, this might be one of the best. UFC Atlanta, Saturday. I'll be there. Maybe I'll make a vlog. I don't know. Probably not, actually. Probably not. But it's going to be a quick trip. Would you let Lipsky fart on your head? Absolutely not. And if she did, she would catch these hands. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. Would not allow that. Wrong card. Yeah. Why my comment gets skipped? What was your comment, bro? I don't see it. Maybe it got taken down. If it was bad, then the YouTube probably took it down. because your comments sucked. What's the early men parlay for this week? If I had to make it right now, I'm not. This isn't the official many men, but because the many men is on a 3-week streak, so we got to hit this 4 weeks in a row. But if I had to make it right now, I would go Buckley, Mansour Abdul Malik, and fucking Charles Jourdain. We'll just throw a dog in there for the fuck of it, bro. Cartel had your family, bro. 11-2 on the picks last week. I'm honestly glad I didn't sweep the card because I always will put in a parlay with all my picks. Just straight money lines. I will always do that. But I forgot to do that this Saturday. And I was 9-0 on my picks. Maybe I was better. I think I was 9-0 on my picks. And I was like, dude, if this is the card that I sweep, I'm going to be irate because I didn't put in the parlay with all my straight money line bets that I gave out on my show. Luckily, that didn't happen. Okay. Otherwise, I would have been real pissed. You think Durden can dog it out? I think that fight's going to be a dog fight for sure. Probably censored. Dang, you don't have to say my comments. I didn't say it. Somebody else did. Buckley a lock for show. For show. Many men KO. Mansour is an animal. Low output worrying. He is a fucking beast, though. Absolute tank. Great card this upcoming weekend. I hope you have a great time in Atlanta. I appreciate you, brother. We're going to hit a couple more chats, and then we're going to hop out of here. But that's the Sunday service for tonight's Wellmaker Buckley, Abdul Malik. I mean, just don't even mess with Wellmaker minus 1,300, bro. Not the easiest many men week unless you want big favorites. True. Arena Alexei minus 220 against Claudia Segula next week is the lock of the year. Max bet that all day. Segula has no idea what she's doing. Easy sub. Well, Alexeva's pretty shit too, bro. You're fading shit with shit. Only 10 fights scheduled for 317, 3 weeks to fight. They'll probably add 1 or 2. Throwing in Charles's cash. Whew. Reclaim white nations. I don't know what that means, bro. Mansour is a fraud, but probably beats Cody. I wouldn't say he's a fraud, but he could definitely be beat for sure. Appreciate the stream. I appreciate you for joining, bro. Not that I am Buckley. He's raw, overly reliant on power, and nearly lost to a 41-year-old wonder boy. If he did, the whole narrative around him would have shifted. Sounds like an Usman fan, bro. All right, boys. I'm out of here. Appreciate you for joining Sunday Service episode number 49 from a remote location. We got UFC Atlanta this week. I'll be there in attendance on Saturday. We got all the normal stuff coming at you this week. The live stream Tuesday night. I'm probably going to try to get another guest to the live stream to break down the entire card. Wednesday, official picks, best bets on Thursday. Long shots only live show on Friday. I promise I'll have better connection on Friday. That kind of sucked, but appreciate y'all. Like the stream for me. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back here. Until next time. Hey, y'all. Picks. We out.